Hello, everybody. So, we're going to talk about mindset for our Monday mindset. And I've got a picture that I want to show you. And this is a picture of, I'm sure you know, it is a picture of an iceberg. Okay. And so, if you were out on this in the ocean and you saw this iceberg, you would think, wow, that's a pretty big iceberg. But then when you realize that the majority of that iceberg is under the water, it's what you don't see, right? So I want you to think about that for just a minute because I'm going to talk to you just briefly about your mind, okay? We have two different minds. We have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And our conscious mind is right up here, okay? Right up here. But our subconscious mind is what's really driving the bus. It's the big part of what we do. Now, if you think about your conscious mind up here, okay, your conscious mind is the ability that you have to think things out, to plan things, to maybe analyze what you may use in math class. It also has to do with short term memory. So let's say you're studying some words for a test this week on vocabulary and you memorize those words and you're able to recall them. That's working with your conscious mind, okay? But what you don't realize is that you're about 90% of how your life goes really revolves around this subconscious mind, the part that we don't really think about. It's in charge of your long term memory, it's in charge of emotions and feelings and some of your habits. Even some of your relationship patterns. You guys are probably to the age where you're already dating, and you may find yourself that you always date a person who maybe has a certain characteristic. So these are patterns that form. It's also where a lot of your imagination and your creativity comes. So your subconscious mind is really, really important to your success in anything that you do. Now, something else that's pretty interesting. Your conscious mind, because it's able to do analysis and look at things, it can kind of distinguish between fact or fiction. So, with your conscious mind, let's say you hear something that sounds kind of wonky and you're not sure if that's true, that's your conscious mind. But your subconscious mind does not have the ability to distinguish between fact and fiction. Now, let me tell you why that's important. The reason why that's important is because a lot of times you say things or you see things. Let's, for example, you're constantly telling yourself, gosh, I'm so bad at math. I am terrible at math. Well, your conscious mind may know the truth, but your subconscious mind doesn't. So it in turn kind of drills into that belief and that mindset, and it's not a really healthy thing to do. And as far as your success goes in anything you do, your subconscious mind, your beliefs, your emotions, your feelings, some of the habits that you form are going to be drawn by that subconscious mind. Your creativity, your intuition. Everybody has intuition. It's nothing that's magical. We all have it, but you know that inner voice, that little feeling maybe that you walk into the classroom and you think your teacher's going to give you a pop test, and she does. Okay, so those things are done by your subconscious mind. It also takes care of things like breathing. We don't have to think to breathe. Our body just knows to breathe. We don't have to think for our heart to beat. Our heart just beats automatically. So that is what I want to talk to you today about your mindset, because when you're looking at your mind, if you think about it this way, about 10% of what you do is going to be driven by the conscious mind to do an analysis, to think, to plan, to have a short-term memory. That might be if you're trying to learn some words. But your subconscious mind right here is going to take 90%. That's the majority of how you're going to end up in life. How you're going to do in a class is going to do with this stuff like this. So let's say, for example, you have a habit of waiting to the last minute to do your assignment. Okay. your subconscious mind is going to get into the habit of doing that. So you may need to break the habit. It takes like 21 days, I think it is, to start a new habit. So if you're the kind of person who waits to the last minute, procrastinates, or something like that, you may need to work a little harder to get used to doing things on a timely manner. But all of these things right here have a lot to do with how you develop and how you prosper and how you get through life. All right, so this is the other thing I wanted to show you. Okay, so if you think about this right here, your short-term memory, your here it is over here. I'm still not getting used to this, but you've got your willpower, your short-term memory, your critical thinking, and all that stuff. That has to do, guys, I'm sorry, with what you're doing with your cognitive, your conscious mindset. Okay, your imagination, your habits, beliefs, emotions, values, protective reactions, your intuition, your long term is going to be with your subconscious mind. So I want you to keep that in mind today. And what I'd like you to do after you watch this is I want you to think about what are some habits that you have in relation to school, or what are some values or beliefs that you have in relationship to school that may have been a subconscious mindset that you may need to look to change. Maybe you have the feeling that you're not that smart in a certain area, or you never make good grades. What are those types of things? Maybe the world is against you, or you've never been a good writer. What are some of those things that you have kept in your subconscious mind that may be keeping you from taking the next step that you need to with your education? All right, so give me three of those things. They could be habits, they could be long-term memories. Maybe something happened a long time ago. I know that when I was in elementary school, I had a teacher that would always make me go to the front of the board and read out loud or write on the board or do my math. And I struggled in school, so I was scared to death. So that's a long-term memory. And sometimes that even bothers me now, as old as I am. So sometimes those things that happen, those events in life, can create something in our subconscious mind that can kind of prevent us from moving forward or bettering ourselves. So, anyway, just think if you've had anything that maybe from the past that maybe stuck in your subconscious mind, and jot me a little note in a text box to get credit for that. And we'll be talking more about mindset later. See you later. Bye.